Hello, this is week 13, and let me share my screen and we're going to go ahead and get started here. Okay, so this week is all about teaching using integrated thematic units because that is one way that teachers foster cognitive development in their students. There are a lot of other strategies you can use, but this week we're talking about integrated thematic units. So the first thing I'd like you to do is read the article, Weaving the Tapestry, because this is just, it gives you some nitty gritty about setting up integrated thematic units. I particularly like that this teacher that wrote it, she webbed. In other words, she drew out what she was going to do just to make it really obvious. Here she's talking about her theme, which is everything changes. And then she has her literacy. She does her books and what she's going to do with books. And she has her social studies. She's talking about presidents and inventors and so on and so forth. Then she has experiments, which is her science. And she does she experiments with all these different changes here. And then she looks at times. Again, this is social studies. And then seasons and weather, which is definitely science. She continues to writing about how she makes this happen. Here's another example of what she does. Same topic, everything changes. And she has her math in there, social studies, reading, language arts, science. It's really a great way to make your plans visual. For those who are visual learners like myself, this is the only way to do it. I used to do this every time I did a thematic unit because I wanted to make sure I was including everything. And the only way I could be sure was by making it visual for myself. Okay, so again, very interesting. I hope you enjoy the article. Let me go get out of this now. The next thing that you're going to do, and this is by Sunday at midnight, you're going to create your own web. You're going to pick a topic of your choice, and you are going to create your web. Okay, you're going to do this for a first grade classroom, so you will have to go to the Oklahoma standards and select what standards you're going to use. And I'll have a link on Blackboard for the standards. So all you have to do is click for that. Decide on a topic, and then you're going to pick 4 or more. You can have as many content areas as you want. Content areas are those major areas that you have to teach, such as math, language arts, science, social studies, art, music, so on and so forth. Pick your content areas. And then you're going to have at least 2 experiences for each content area. You're going to include your Oklahoma academic standards for each of the content areas on the anticipatory web. What are you covering? What are they actually learning if someone were to look at this? And that's what you post in assignments. And here's another example of an anticipatory web. You've seen some in the article, but this is another example. This is a thematic unit about trees in the community. And this particular person picked math, art, science, language arts, and social studies as their content areas. Here is exactly what Oklahoma academic standards are being covered. And this person actually gave 3 different activities for math. You only need to have 2, but some people go over and above. And then they gave 2 different activities for art and the standards that were covered. And then science, 2 activities and the standards that were covered. And then 3 for language arts and the standards, and same thing with social studies. So remember, you're going to do this for first grade. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link in, so that will take you to the Oklahoma academic standards so that you can pick yours for your particular activities. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. I would rather meet with you than have you be confused about it. Okay. And then let's just take a look at next week, because next week the assignment is going to be due on Tuesday. So that's why I'm going over it now. And the reason it's due on Tuesday is because that's when the face-to-face class has to turn theirs in. And I think it's only fair everyone turns theirs in at the same time if it's the same class. So anyway, this is your social studies activity that goes with what we've been talking about, because, you know, social studies really begins with learning about your students, learning about their families, their traditions, and their community. So for this particular assignment, you're going to select a family tradition that's special to you. And this will allow me to learn about you and create a one-of-a-kind representation of the tradition. You could create a poster, make a poster, and then explain it. You could write a poem and then explain it. You could write a song. You are going to make a video, collage, collection of artifacts, etc. If I had to make an example of this, for instance, if I would have this assignment, I would do a collection of artifacts. And I would start by explaining one of my favorite family traditions, which is celebrating Advent. And that's something we do in my family the 4 Sundays before Christmas. And so I would show you our family's Advent ring, which is a circle that has 4 candles in it. And then I would explain to you about how we light 1 candle the first Advent and 2 candles the next Advent, and then 3 and then 4. And then while we're doing the candle lighting, we lower all the lights in the room and it's really dark except for the candles. And then we have on Christmas music. And we have a special basket that I inherited from my great aunt. And we use that basket to put German Christmas cookies in. And while that's all going on, the whole family sits around and we just talk quietly and, you know, enjoy ourselves and think about how thankful we are to be celebrating Advent again. And this takes about 30 minutes, but it's really a wonderful family time, very peaceful. And I would show you all the artifacts. I'd probably show you some cookies and my special basket and my Advent ring and the candles. I could even play you some Christmas music if I was doing the video. So that is what the explanation would be, and that's what the sharing of artifacts would be. So when you get your things all together, explain why it's special to you, and make your video and then upload it to assignments on Blackboard by midnight on Tuesday. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. Hope you have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.